Hi everyone, hope you're enjoying today. My name is John Savage and I'm going to be talking to you today about the sometimes perilous journey of moving from your IoT concept to bringing a concrete project into production with all the bells and whistles that go with that. So I guess a lot of people in this room at the moment are, you're very familiar with various horizontal stacks in parts of the IoT stack, just say, very good at sensors, very good at gateways, very good at edge processing and so on. The challenge with bringing an IoT solution into production end-to-end is exactly that end-to-end part of it. Bringing all of those parts together in a cohesive, coherent whole that's going to stand up against the rigors and tests of the real world is a big challenge. Who I'm kind of mainly aiming this presentation at today would be if you're an organisation out there that's about to embark upon an IoT journey, where you've got the idea of something in the IoT space and you want to implement it, and you've got finite resources. If you're Google and you can afford to make as many mistakes as you want, well then that's great. We've been offline mistakes in this space and hopefully some of the learnings are going to help you in getting that journey a little easier for you. Bit of background about ourselves. So I'm, as mentioned, I'm founder and technical director of Action Point Software. We're a custom software development house. In the IoT space, we act as SIs. So we're systems integrators. What that means is essentially we've got a partner network we've built up over the years of people that we bring to the table in order to deliver the end-to-end IoT solution. The example there is we're working on a proof of concept in the industrial Internet of Things, manufacturing 4.0. We're working with an automotive manufacturing company whereby we're actually coordinating the work of about 5 different partners, Dell and Intel being key partners in that process. It's a proof of concept that I hope you'll tell you more about it in a month or two's time. But essentially from the customer's perspective, they're dealing with us and then we're coordinating all of the external parties to make the whole thing work and work well. I guess over the years, one thing that Action has done is we've probably turned down more IoT projects than we've taken on, because in the early stages we had an awful lot of discussions with clients about what exactly they're trying to achieve. And some of the common issues we've come across are these three. And they do look like common sense when you put them on a slide like this. In a regular software projects, it's very rare we get one and never get two of these issues on a regular software project. However, we found, for some reason that we're going to go into, in the IoT space, it's quite common that you'll have maybe 2 or even 3 of these issues on an IoT project. And we'll go into some detail now. So for starters, and I'm a techie myself, so I can say this, don't let the techies rule the roost. What we mean by that is, you've probably heard the phrase, IoT is a fantastic solution looking for a problem. What that essentially embodies is the notion that the technology that's driving the explosion of IoT is while it's hard, it's really becoming easy compared to where it was 3 to 5 years ago, let's say. So it's really, really easy to build really, really cool technology systems that technical people love doing. However, unfortunately, at the end of the day, someone's got to pay the bills. And there has to be a clear, cohesive objective around which you're going to put the project. What is the goal of the project? And everybody in your team has an IoT solution that opens up the internet and allow you to control them from an app. Their explicit goal was not revenue, it was market awareness in a younger demographic, and it was quite successful in that goal. So essentially, you've got to have the concrete concept of what you're trying to achieve and communicate that to everybody as a team, and once you do that, then you'll be well on your way. Then you've got the flip side, is don't let the non-techies rule the roost. IoT events are absolutely fantastic, and they're often littered with really, really cool 10-minute demos that show how with the clicks of a few buttons you can have an edge sensor connected to a gateway, talking to the cloud and tweeting when you take your hand over a light sensor, let's say. They're really, really cool demos, but the challenge with those is that they can lead the non-technical people into this false sense that it's all easy. Specific things are easy, but bringing the whole thing together is quite complex. Action Point's involvement in IoT projects, we're often the first technical partners of the team. We get non-technical customers coming to us with the vision, and it's a very, very interesting initial conversation. But it does lead to an awful lot of expectation management in that first conversation. As a non-technical person, don't be afraid of the technology, but make sure you're working with a technical team that can communicate with you in language that you can work with. Listen very carefully what the technical people are telling you and make sure that you adapt what you're trying to achieve to what the technical constraints actually present to you. Also, there's often going to be very subtle things that the technical guys might bring to the table that are going to have a very big impact on your business. So if you have an existing business and you're adopting an IoT strategy, you've got to be very aware that it could affect your sales, it could affect your finance, it could affect your entire business model. Your operational activities could be changed significantly, your customer service, your deployment. it could have a big shift for everybody across your whole team. So, make sure as a non-technical person that you're watching out for that during the early stages of the IoT project, and you understand as much of the impact across your team as you can. So, I guess what you need to do is balance the technical and non-technical. And a challenge with IoT is that from the outside, a really good IoT project looks like magic. It looks really, really easy. And there are certain things in life that look easy until you try them. So, you've got to make sure that you've got the balance right. You've got to get the bottom-up technical guys, bring the detail and the realism into the project mix, but you also have the top-down business people with their vision and their drive as to where they want the project to go. And if you can find that balance and get your team to operate in the middle ground, that's where the magic in the IoT space happens.